Let's go ahead and get started. I thought I was a little dark. My other light's not on. It helps a little bit. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead and come to a seat. We'll start in a seat, and then we'll begin the movement part of our practice on our back to start. Find your tall, comfortable seat. You're welcome to sit on a pillow, a cushion, a towel, or blanket to help elevate the hips, making them more comfortable to sit tall. Hands can rest onto the tops of the legs. And just considering what this week has brought you. And considering what type of intention would help complete your week. If we need to help balance out anything going on in the mind, in the body. If we're doing all right, we're just kind of riding the wave. Keep it on. We can have an intention that suits that attitude. Thinking about how you could take this intention into your practice. What shape in the hands, whether it's fingers open, fingers closed. If you want to rock out during your practice, you go right ahead. Jules, you got your leopard print on maybe? And really anything you can bring into your practice that helps embody this intention. It can be as silly, as ridiculous, or as simple as you'd like. And please bow your head to your chest to seal in your intention. Blinking the eyes open. Take the head up. Go ahead and let your feet point in the direction that you will be facing. So what do you think of as the top of your mat? Let your feet face that way and release onto your back. Setting up for dynamic bridge with the feet just slightly wider than they'd usually be, just a little bit. Toes still pointed straight forwards of the heels, maybe heels just to the outside of the hips, the physical edges of the body, instead of maybe where you'd think of the hip joints landing in line with the bones of the legs. Feet just a little wider. As you inhale, raise the hips and raise the arms. Hip points lift, hip creases lift, arms land around the head. As you exhale, release the hips, release the arms back to the floor. Inhale, raise the arms up, raise the hips up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, raise hips, raise arms. Exhale, lower. And we'll add on in a moment here. Inhale, raise hips, raise arms. Exhale, lower down. Keep the hips down. As you inhale, take the arms wide out to the sides. As you exhale, release the knees to the left. Inhale, point the knees up. It's windshield wiper style, but it's a little more narrow than our usual windshield wiper. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale, point the knees up. Exhale, slide the arms back at the sides. Dynamic bridge. This is one set. Inhale, raise hips, raise arms. Exhale, release hips, release arms. Inhale, take the arms wide. Exhale, knees left. Inhale, point the knees up. Knees right. Exhale. Inhale, point the knees up. Arms at the side of the torso. Inhale, raise hips, raise arms. Exhale, lower. Hips stay, arms wide. Knees left. Point up. Knees right. Point up. One more of each as you exhale, arms at the sides. Inhale, hips, arms lift. Exhale, lower. Arms wide. Knees left. Point up. Knees right. Point up. Arms at the sides. Keep the arms at the sides. Inhale, raise just hips. If you'd like, we can walk the feet a little more narrow if that's the way we're used to taking our bridge pose. Lift hip creases, hip points, tops of the legs. As you exhale, draw the navel back slightly, supporting the lower back with strength from front body. Exhale, release spine and hips to the floor. Cross right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Figure 4. Right knee away, staying here. Or pick up left foot. Hands around left hamstring or left shin. Shoulders and head relaxing back into the floor. And exhale, release left foot and right foot back down. Cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Left knee away. Pick up the right foot, right knee toward right shoulder, hands around right hamstring or shin. And release right foot and left foot back to the floor. Pick up the feet. Take knees over hips or navel. Tuck the hands into knee creases. Rocking a couple times head to tailbone. Make your way up into a boat pose. Shins parallel to the floor. Chest lifts. Arms can float or stay holding the legs. Exhales, draw lowest ribs back. Inhales, lift the sternum slightly. And exhale, tip forward, soles of the feet together. You can readjust if you're off the edge of your mat, coming into star pose, diamond pose. Soles of the feet together, lift tall and fold from the hip joints forward, hands to the feet or past. Walking the hands past the toes. Walk your hands over to the left, in front of left shin, just inside left knee. Hands walk over to the right, in front of right shin, just inside right knee. Hands back to the center in front of the toes. Sitting up, take the knees toward one another, and we'll shift forwards onto hands and knees. Make your way into tabletop. As you inhale, lift through the chest, shoulder blades pull down the back, bringing our back bend into the chest where it might be more challenging. As you exhale, rounding the spine, bringing it into the navel, into the low back where it may be challenging to round. Inhale back to cow pose, lift the chest. Child's pose, hips back toward the heels. Inhale forwards, back to cow pose, heart lifts forwards, strong through back body. Cat pose, exhale, round, navel, hugs. Inhale back to cow pose. Tuck the toes, move back to down dog, hugging the navel back, elongating through spine, through arms. Change where the feet land if they're not where they're most comfortable for your down dog. On your inhale, extend your right leg straight back to three-legged dog. Release back to down dog, right foot to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend back, 3 legs. Exhale, release. Knees to the floor, back to cow pose. Lift the chest, shoulder blades back. Cat pose round, exhale, navel hug, supporting lower spine. Inhale back to cow pose. Child's pose, hips back toward heels, landing here. Walk the hands over to the left side of your mat, curve long through right side body, similar to our shape in our diamond pose from before. Hands walk over to the right side of the mat, curving long through left side body from hip to hand. Walk the hands back to the center and walk your hands back toward your knees. So we're still essentially sitting onto the heels, but we've walked the hands back, propping and lifting through chest and spine. With your right hand, inhale, open back behind you so that there's a long straight line between the arms, twisting through upper spine. Exhale, release right hand back to the floor. Left arm, inhale, extend back, open through the chest, twisting through upper spine. Exhale, release. 2 more each side. Right arm, inhale, extend back, open the chest. Release right hand to floor. Left arm, left shoulder, inhale, extend back. Exhale, release. Think of pulling the shoulder blade toward your spine. Inhale, open right arm, right shoulder blade pulls back as you open right chest. Exhale, set down. Left arm, inhale, open. And exhale, release. Walk the hands forwards, coming into tabletop once again, and tuck the toes back to down dog. After your exhale, walk the feet forwards, come into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half lift, shoulders into the back, heart forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise all the way up, hands overhead, hands to heart center. We'll take our chair salute tacked on to the beginning of our Sun A. Feet to hip width for this variation. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. As you exhale, sit the hips back toward chair, but take the pinky fingers toward the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Hands to heart center, sit back a little farther. Inhale, raise all the way up. Regular forward fold for our Sun A. Inhale, half lift, shoulders back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Move back to a plank or a kneeling plank. Exhale, lower. If you'd like, take your preferred vinyasa. If you'd like, we can hold plank instead. And then move back to down dog. Navel helps move you back. Adjusting the feet if we need a different stance. On your inhale, extend your right leg straight back to three-legged dog. As you exhale, round the knee forward toward the nose. Shift shoulders forward over wrists. Inhale, back up 3 legs. Exhale, release to down dog. Left leg, inhale, extend back. Exhale, round, knee toward nose. Inhale, back up. Down dog. 2 breaths here. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Back to a half lift at the top. Forward fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. We'll take our chair salute at the beginning again. Feet to hip width. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Hips sink back, fold the chest, fold the arms, pinky fingers to floor. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Hands to heart center, sit back a little farther. Inhale, raise all the way up. Sun A, forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, move back, plank or kneeling. Vinyasa of your choice, or you're welcome to take plank or locust. When you're ready, moving back to down dog. On your inhale, extend right leg back to three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow out to the side, lifting up toward the tricep even. Inhale, back up 3 legs. Down dog, release. Left leg, inhale, extend back. Left knee to left elbow or tricep. Inhale, back up. Down dog for 2 breaths. Slowing the breath. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift. Forward fold. Raise up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Last round, our chair salutes, and then our sun A. Inhale, raise the arms. Half chair, pinkies on or toward the floor. Lift the chest and arms for chair. Hands to heart center. Stand all the way up. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold to plant, move back. Your choice of vinyasa if you'd like to take one or an alternative. Two breaths. And on your inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Twist right knee toward left elbow under the torso. Inhale, back up, three legs. Down dog, release. Left leg, inhale, extend back, three-legged dog. Twist left knee to right elbow. Inhale, back up. Down dog. From here, please take the knees down onto the floor. Walk the hands a handprint closer together and maybe a handprint or two farther out in front, coming into puppy pose. Allow the chest to suspend toward the floor. Forehead may rest, maybe chin, maybe chest could reach the ground, but neither are necessary. Lifting the chest away from the floor, slide left arm under right shoulder, thread the needle. Left cheek or temple can land to the ground. Switching, take the left arm forward. Right arm under left shoulder, other side, right cheek or temple can land. Rebuild, come back up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes, back to down dog. On your inhale, take the left leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards to warrior one. Right heel grounds, hip points forwards, and inhale to raise up, hands overhead. Exhale, take the elbows wide like we're pulling the shoulder blades down. Pull the hands down. Straighten the left knee. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend into left knee, elbows wide, goalpost back bend. Inhale to straighten all. Bend into left knee and elbows. Keep the left knee bent. Arms lift up. Folding, hands down around left foot onto the floor, or if you'd like, onto blocks. Starting to move the left hip back in space. Right hip gently moves forwards, even as we move the whole body back. Folding out over left leg. Noticing if your hips want to shift over to the left. Again, keep a bit of strength coming in through right side, pulling right hip forwards, pressing left foot back, left hip back, pardon me. And on your exhale, please bend back into the left knee. Move the blocks if you have them. Back heel off, left leg back to three-legged dog, opening the hips, raise through the outside seam of left leg. Left glute is active. Pressing the left foot back behind you if you'd like, or we can stay straight out. We can also stay with hips level if that feels best. Inhale, straight back to three-legged dog. And down dog, release. Other side, inhale, right leg back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step forwards, warrior one, left heel grounds. Inhale to raise up. Elbows wide, exhale, open the chest. Straighten the right knee, inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bend back in. Inhale, raise. Exhale, bend in. Keep the right knee bent. Arms lift up. Fold, hands down around right foot. Moving hips back, right hip back, left side might keep a little bit of strength, squaring the hips with the heels, with the shoulders as we fold over right leg. Bending back into the right knee, back heel off, three-legged dog. Take the right leg back, opening the hips if you'd like, pressing right foot back behind you, raising through either the outside of the knee or the outside of the ankle. Your choice, bent or straight. And we can close the hips if you'd prefer. Inhale, straight back to three-legged dog, level hips. Down dog, release. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards, half lift at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Anchoring down through both feet into the floor. Ball of foot, heel, and toes all firmly feel into the floor. Inhale to take the arms up overhead, interlace last three fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left. Move the hips to the right. Feel the long curve through whole right side. Navel stays strong as we breathe. Inhale, point back up. Exhale, point up and over to the right. Hips move to the left. Keep left rib cage lifting, arcing through whole left side. Inhale, point back up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step your right leg back for crescent lunge. Feet in their own lanes, legs strong. Inhale to stand all the way up, hands overhead. Twisting, take right arm forward, left arm behind. Stay to breathe here, about 3 breaths. Inhales, lift tall, pressing back through right heel, forward through left knee. Exhales, collect back into the navel. Strong core as we stay. Heart forwards. Inhale, take the arms back up overhead. Grounding the right heel, open hips and chest down to warrior 2. Left knee points wide over pinky toe edge. Try to not let it collapse into the arch. On your inhale, reverse warrior. Open through whole left side, arcing from left hip to hand. Stack the spine back to warrior 2, please. On your inhale, straightening the left knee. Exhale, reach forwards for triangle pose, taking the hand down to the shin, ankle, maybe the floor, a block or a book if you have it. Right arm lifts, keeping right chest rolling open. Rib cage draws back. Bend back into the left knee, please. Legs strong. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left side opens once again. And stack the spine to warrior 2. Inhale the arms up overhead. Little side body strong. Last bit. I know the left leg may be tired. Start to lean into side angle, but only go as far as the torso becomes in line with right leg. If you'd like, this is kind of challenging and awkward to keep that left arm lifted. We can interlace the fingers and press the palms away. Let you know where your arms are in space. Inhale, reverse warrior. Release the hands. Exhale, spiral the hands down around left foot. Right knee sets to the floor for lizard pose. Walk the left leg outside of left arm. Chest moves forwards, bringing right hip forwards as well. Almost thinking of a back bend or straight line shape from the right knee to the chest. Stay here to hands, or if you'd like, lower to elbows. We will take this a second time later on, so if you don't want to do the twist now, there will be an option later. And please build back to the hands if we're onto the elbows. Walk the left leg wide off the left edge of your mat, coming into a wide leg variation of kneeling pyramid. So hips, hands will all stay, but the same width apart from left to right. Only difference here is the left leg is wide off the edge of the mat, wider than left arm. And bend back into the left knee. Walk the left leg below the chest. Hands frame left foot. Straighten the right knee off the floor. And we'll step forwards back to our half lift at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the arms. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step your left leg back to crescent lunge. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Twisting, left arm forward, right arm behind, breathing here. Same as we took in the beginning, opening the arm, move the shoulder blade back, opening the chest, not just the arm. Heart forwards, inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale to open the hips. Left heel grounds, warrior 2. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Right side opens, right arm lifts. Exhale, stack the spine back to warrior 2. Breathing here. Next inhale, reach back, reverse again. Stack the spine, warrior 2. Straightening the right knee. As you exhale, reach forwards, coming down into triangle pose. Right hand to shin, ankle, block or floor. Left arm lifted. Left ribs drawing back. Bend back into the right knee. Inhale, reverse. I think we did an extra reverse before we did this. Pardon me. Stack the spine back to warrior 2. That's what happens when I don't have anybody to catch me. Inhale the arms up overhead. If you'd like, interlace fingers, palms up so we know where the arms are. And lean into our side angle without a prop. Just in line with left leg. No need to come down any farther. Inhale, reverse. Spiral the hands down around right foot, lizard pose. Left knee sets to the floor. Right leg walks outside of right arm. Left hip moves forwards, chest lifts, creating extension through spine between left knee and the crown of the head. Stay to hands or lower to elbows, but again, we'll take this again later if you'd like to hold off on your twist. And please walk the right leg wide, perhaps off the edge of the mat. And it might not go that far. It might not need or feel good if it goes that far. Your choice of width. Moving the hips back. Hips and shoulders about same distance apart. So again, here, right hip might want to stay forwards to avoid this stretch. Keep sitting right hip back. A little bit of strength through left side even. And bend back into the right knee. Walk the right leg below the chest. Hands frame the right foot. Straighten the left knee off the floor. Shorten the stance if you need to. And step forwards. Half lift at the top. Interlace your hands behind the back. Opening the chest, or grab a strap or a towel to create more distance between the hands. Folding forwards. Knees can bend. Hamstrings can soften to give the low back a chance to fold. Inhale back to a half lift. Release the strap or release hands to knees or shins. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. And please shift your weight into the left leg. Take your hands to heart if they're not already. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. We did our figure four relaxed on the back first. We'll combine our figure four and chair pose. Cross right ankle over left thigh, left knee. Sitting right hip back toward the floor. And standing up, float the right knee. Release the right foot back to the floor. Shifting your weight into right leg. Other side, bend left knee up toward the height of the hip, finding our balance first. And cross left ankle over right thigh, sitting back, figure four chair. And standing up, float the left knee. And release left foot back to the floor. Take the hands to the hips and step your right leg back into a wide leg stance. We'll take the heels in and the toes out for goddess pose. Inhale to take arms up overhead. Take the elbows wide to a goalpost shape, bend the knees wide over ankles, maybe over the feet, breathing here. Standing up, take the toes in front of the heels and return the hands to the hips. From here, point left knee, left toes to the front of the mat and shrug the right heel back. We'll come into warrior two. Arms up at the height of the shoulders and bend into right knee. If you need to, lengthen the stance. Step the right foot back farther. This time, coming into side angle as usual, taking our propped variation. Left elbow to left thigh and right arm straight up. Or if you'd like, left hand can move down to the floor or a block. Right arm can reach forward, finding that same extension through right side. Legs strong. Inhale, reverse warrior. If you need to, we can use the left hand to help you lift up. Stack the spine, warrior two. Return the hands to the hips. Take toes in front of the heels and we'll switch sides. Right toes to the back of the mat. Shrugging left heel back. Arms up at the height of the shoulders. Bending into warrior two. Coming into side angle. Right elbow to right thigh. Left arm lifts. If you'd prefer, taking the hand to the floor or block. Extension through left side. Or stay straight up. Legs strong. Right hand can press to right leg to help lift. Reverse. Warrior two. Return the hands to the hips. Point toes in front of heels. Interlace hands behind the back again or grab our prop, our towel. Awkward grip in the hands if we do have the hands. And take our bound wide leg fold. Shifting the weight toward the ball of the foot, toward the toes. Backs of the legs active to prevent us from tipping forwards. Press the feet into the ground to help you stand, not just hang into the bones. Inhale, wide leg, half lift. Return the hands to the floor. Pivot left toes wide of left heel for Skandasana, our side lunge. Point left knee over left toes. Right leg starts to straighten, finding our side lunge. And if you notice the stance is a little too long, simply change where your right heel is. Slide it farther away. Slide it closer. Lift back up to our wide leg half lift, toes in front of heels. And pivot right toes wide of right heel. Side lunge, Skandasana, left part and right elbow into the inside of right knee, taking it wide. And lifting back up, wide leg half lift. Take the spine strong all on its own. Return the hands to the front of the hips. And stand all the way up. Weight shifts into left leg. Shorten if you need to and step right foot forwards, back to the top of your mat. Hands come to heart center. Last bit of standing here. Weight shifts to left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. Finding our balance once again. Extend right leg back, torso forward toward warrior three, lifting through the back seam, glute, and through the whole back of the leg. Hamstring active, pressing right heel back. Thinking of the shape we'd land in for our crescent lunge, land right toes and ball of foot back. Pull the navel back away from the left leg. As you exhale, twist right elbow on or toward left leg, left knee. Hands draw back to heart, opening left shoulder. Maybe turning the gaze up to the ceiling or keep it straight in front of you. Legs strong, inhale, raise all the way up to crescent, hands lift up overhead. And fold, hands around left foot, our second pass at lizard. Right knee to the floor. Walk the left leg outside of left arm, bringing the chest forwards, right hip crease forwards. We can stay to hands lower to elbows, repeat our variation from before, or if you'd like, twist left hand onto left knee, opening through the chest. We can bend right knee, keeping both halves without the bind, or if you'd like, perhaps left hand takes hold of right foot. Being mindful of where the shoulder is. If we feel like we're closing and folding just to reach back to get that bind, maybe consider opening the chest and staying here. This shape I would prefer as to this shape, holding on. Think of our purpose, chest open. And release. Walk the left leg below the chest. Right knee off the floor. Coming into our half warrior three, if you'd like to, we can take hands to blocks or hands to the floor in front of you. Standing into left leg, lift right leg back behind, staying here for a moment. Release right foot to forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Other side. Shifting your weight into right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip. Coming into warrior three. Left leg back, torso forwards. Active, strong through the back of left leg. Left glute. Sole of the foot pressing straight back. Think of the shape we would land in for crescent lunge. Land left toes and ball of foot back behind, lifting navel away from the top of the right leg. As you exhale, twist in left elbow on or toward right thigh. Heels of the hands draw back, opening elbows, lifting through right chest, right shoulder. Legs strong. Inhale, stand all the way up. Hands overhead, heart lifts. And fold. Hands down around right foot. Lizard pose. Set the left knee to the floor. Walk the right leg outside of right arm. We can stay to hands, lower to elbows. Twist without the left knee. Add the left knee bend if you'd like. Maybe bind. Maybe let it go. Again, if we do take that bind, make sure we can bring the chest open. And release. Walk the right leg back below the chest. Straighten the left knee off the floor. Fingertips, hands are coming forwards onto blocks. Stand into right leg for half warrior three. Right hip sitting back. Keep the right side long. And release left foot. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Last bit of standing, feet to hip width or feet and legs together if you'd prefer for chair. Hands to heart first. As you exhale, hug the ribs in, hug the navel back, sitting back to chair. Lifting the toes a bit, sinking the weight into the heels, but keep the ball of the foot actively pressing into the ground. As you exhale, fold from here. Torso lands onto the legs. Maybe taking a bind, first two fingers around big toes or hands to ankles or calves. Once we have that bind, begin to straighten the legs even more, but keep the torso onto the tops of the legs. Let it maintain contact even if the knees have a super deep bend. Begin to straighten, but keep that contact. Releasing, inhale to a half lift, extended spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to hands and knees. Please come into a kneeling plank. Walk the knees a little bit wider. Do make sure they're just slightly wider than hip width. Plant the left hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, open right arm like we did in the beginning from knees when the hips were to the heels. Breathe here. So right hip stays forwards as right arm opens. Exhale, release to the floor. Right hand just adjacent to center. Inhale, open the left arm back as left hip stays forwards. Breathing. Exhale, release left hand. If you want to, you can do this from a plank if you want to, or stay to the knees. Right arm, inhale, open, so we're not in side plank. Right hip is still down. Release right hand. Left arm, inhale, extend back. Release left hand to the floor. Hands wide enough to lower down. Release all the way to the floor. Place the hands back around your hips. Palms flat to the floor for this variation. Bring the shoulder blades back. Think of the muscles that you used to open the arm behind you. Engage, shoulder blades towards spine. Lift the chest away from the floor. Keep the arm bones rolling back and in toward the sides of the body. Lift the legs. And if you'd like, add on the arms, but keep that external rotation roll. Release, hands around rib cage. Come back to child's pose. Wide leg or knees to hip width, your preferred variation. Lift up onto hands and knees, and we'll come into a seat. Hips back, legs out in front toward the front of your mat. Legs, feet to hip width. Take the hands down at the sides, keeping track, trying to not lean back as we do this next one. Try to float your right leg off the floor. Keep breathing. Release right leg. Left leg, lift off the floor. Still breathing. Release left leg. Now please bring left foot inside right thigh. Same thing. Inhale, lift right leg. Might shake. We might just feel like we're trying and we might not get lift off. That's okay. Release right leg. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over right leg. Head to knee pose. Hands could land to the knee, maybe farther in front. Walk the hands back up the right leg, point left knee to the ceiling, and take the left foot to the outside of your right thigh for our seated twist. If you want, right heel could fold back by left hip. If we really feel like we're leaning off to the right side though, leg can stay out in front. Right arm lifts, twisting across left knee, left hand behind to help lift, spine tall. Releasing out of the twist, we will switch sides. Right leg forward if it's not already. Left leg out. Right foot inside left thigh. Hands at the sides. Floating left leg, still breathing. And release left leg. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over left leg, head to knee pose. Hands can land where they're comfortable. They do not have to make it to the foot. Walking the hands back up the legs, sitting tall. Bring the right knee toward the ceiling. Right foot to the outside of the left thigh for our seated twist. Left leg can stay out, or bring left heel back toward right hip as long as we're not leaning off to the side too much. Left arm lifts. Twist elbow or hand across left knee. Right hand behind to lift tall, opening right shoulder. Releasing from the twist. Please take both legs out in front. Hands behind the hips to help lift tall here. And begin to fold forwards over both legs. Hands can walk behind both knees, ankles, maybe to the feet. Walk the hands back up the legs. From here, slide the hips closer to the heels. Coming down the same way we lifted up through boat pose. Tuck the hands underneath the knees. Start to straighten the arms. Lean back away from the tops of the legs. Lean back far enough the feet start to float off on their own. If you'd like, arms at the sides or choose to keep holding on to the legs. Slowly curl your way down onto the floor. Arms can reach forwards to help counter. See if we can go slowly. Once we land and hug the knees to the chest. Keep the left knee to the chest. Inhale, extend right leg out. Flex the heel away. Flex the sole of the foot away. Exhale, right knee, both knees back to chest. Right knee stays. Inhale, extend the left leg out, foot flexed away. Exhale, back to chest. One more each. Right leg, inhale, extend out. Keep the left knee really close in if we can, even if the right leg doesn't go as far. Exhale in. Left leg, inhale, extend out. Keep the right knee close. Exhale, back in. Take the arms out to the sides. Release the knees to the left, recline twist. Left arm can help anchor the legs. Turning the head to the right, continuing the twist into the neck. Pressing the left arm into the ground, take the knees back up. And release the knees to the right. Change where the hips and pelvis land if you need to. And roll the knees to the right. Turn the head to the left. Right arm can help anchor the legs. Pressing the right arm into the ground, take the knees back up and hug the knees into the chest. Adding on any additional shapes or poses you'd like. We can add another round of figure 4, any different twist. If you'd like, take pigeon. Take the next 15 to 20 breaths or so, the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, to even out and complete your practice. Asymmetrical first, ending with 1 or 2 symmetrical shapes. Taking as much or as little time as you need. When you're ready, release to your preferred shape for Shavasana. For Shavasana, if you'd like, we could take a small folded towel underneath the head, a blanket. If you are chilly, you can cover yourself with a blanket. Finding your space to rest on your back if it's comfortable. I will come to a seat. You are welcome to stay on your back. When you're ready, when we're resting, become aware of the spaces that land to the floor. Exhales, feel the back body release into the floor. Inhales, feel the floor rise up to hold the body. Exhales, release back body into the floor. Inhales, feel the floor hold the body. Aware of the center plane of the body, space parallel to the floor. That is not where the body rests, nor where the front of the body lifts. Central plane where the bones would lay. As you inhale, feel the breath move from the soles of the feet, up the bones of the legs, bones of the arms and the spine, up to the very top of the head. With your exhale, observe the breath moving back down the whole length of the body toward the soles of the feet. Feel the inhales move from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. And the exhales back down to the soles of the feet. Continuing with the breath between these 2 points. With your next exhales, release the breath just down the arms to the palms of the hands. Inhales from the palms of the arms to the crown of the head. Exhales down to the palms of the hands. Breathing between palms and crown. Then back down to the palms. Observe the breath now down to the base of the spine. Observe the inhale moving to the crown of the head and the exhale to the base of the spine. Please bring your awareness to rest at heart center. Single point of breath, single point of awareness. Observing if you feel the breath moving at this space. Whatever shape, whatever sensation. Observe the breath at heart center. Return to the intention that you had set at the beginning of your practice, deciding how you could take this with you. Maybe it was a facial expression, an attitude, position of the hands. Considering how you would bring this intention off your mat and into the rest of your day and your weekend. And begin to expand the breath back out into torso, out into limbs, toward hands, feet, fingers, toes, aware of whole physical body and where it rests. Begin to move the fingers and the toes. Bend the ankles and the wrists. Rock the head from side to side. Bend the elbows. Walk the feet back to hug the knees back into the chest. Be aware of anything on either side of you, rolling to one side, taking a few breaths here. Pressing your hands into the floor, coming up to a tall seat. Energy back into the spine, lifting tall. Hands resting where they're comfortable. Awake and present to move through the rest of your day. Bringing the palms together at heart center, taking your intention and your practice with you. Bowing your head to your heart, acknowledging your breath, your peace, and all that you are. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining now or later. Again, we'll go ahead and keep these up on the page if you'd like to come back to them at some point in time. Guys, thanks for practicing with me today. If you'd like to see more videos, if you'd perhaps like to see more of Miko's arm being shoved under the door, I'll link a couple right here. I'll link my page. I'll link the most recent series or video. And subscribe if you would like to let yourself know when I put out a new video. What do you think, Miko? Do you think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea.